Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thursday evening. It's time for your latest and greatest Grand Central Sports Hub with Jay-Z, Mr. Soriano in Salt Lake City, Utah. Good evening.
Yak Shemesh, happy Chanukah.
Happy Hanukkah, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Diamond Dan in Massachusetts. Good evening to you all. I did not know it was Hanukkah until literally this middle of the day where I saw Facebook postings and Twitter salutations, if you will. And then I forgot again. And then Mrs. Sadowski was nice enough to send me a personalized Happy Hanukkah about an hour ago. And I was like, oh, I forgot it is Hanukkah. And it was after sundown. So it's officially Hanukkah.
Don't forget, I did also send you a personalized.
You did earlier today. And I appreciated that so very much.
Did you call Aunt Nancy today, by the way?
I did. I called Aunt Nancy and Aunt Rhoda. I have twin aunts. It is their birthday. Happy birthday to both of them. You forget. How could you forget? It's even worse. You know what? That's even worse. Sending greetings to one and forgetting the other is actually worse than forgetting both.
Well, odds are Aunt Rhoda knew that I knew it was her birthday because I wished Aunt Nancy a happy birthday. But
one has social media, one does not.
I was going to say Aunt Rhoda doesn't talk to me like Aunt Nancy does. So
I don't know where. I don't know what you're saying.
No, that's not what I meant.
Okay, I don't know what you're saying. They're my aunts. Fucking ridiculous. What are you drinking?
I am drinking some of Kentucky's finest, Basil Hayden's straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey. I'm at the bottom of the bottle, so odds are we will be opening something else very shortly. Sorry, I see Mr. Vislowski has just signed in.
Hi, Mr. Vislowski.
No Mike's Hard Lemonade have made it onto the show yet.
Maybe next week.
For the sake of my intestines.
Basil Hayden is a great go-to. You know, the price point is good, says the Jew, but it's tasty, it's good, it's smooth. I like it. What says you, Mr. Diamond Dan?
I would agree. I mean, it's a go-to.
Yeah.
You know, nothing wrong with that. I would put Michter's a little bit above that, maybe put it in the High West category.
Yeah.
You know, and then you get into the really high, you know, the Blantons and the the 12 years and the others, but Basil Hayden's, put that with a bullet.
I do happen to have a bottle of Blanton's here. This is my absolute favorite, as you know, Diamond Dan.
Blanton's is I had to add a little bit of lime last night after my third, so but pound for pound, straight up, Blanton's smooth as silk. I am on the search for a bottle of Weller, thanks to another buddy of mine, CDY down there in Virginia. And I can't find one around here, but maybe New Hampshire holds the key.
Well, if you're still looking, next time I go to the great village of Wendover, Nevada,
yes,
they actually have a couple. There's a couple different ages of Weller, and I'll be happy to pick some of that.
Really, that's good to know. Thank you. You would think here in the Boston suburbs that high priced whiskey would be at a premium, but
or really any liquor.
Maybe it's all swill and old granddad. It is the holidays after all.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm with the Trogs Haze Charmer dry hopped hazy pale ale. It's okay. It's nothing remarkable. I mean, I had to make your own 6 at Wegmans last night, and it's okay. It's like a 6. It's not hazy. Listen, we're talking hazy IPAs now. I expect things on the level of Trillium and Other Half. This is not on that level.
Speaking of Trillium, got home delivery on Sunday just before football. Here's a nice little collaboration with the Vale Brewing in Richmond, Virginia. So our boys, they might not be able to have you in their facility right now down there in Congress Street and in Fort Point, but you can keep buying their beer. So for the spirits that are listening that do live in Boston, support your local breweries.
Yes, let's keep it going.
Wherever you live, support your local breweries.
We're still in this, and we need to make sure these folks stay afloat. Because when we come out of COVID, we need to be able to visit them again, right? So let's keep it going. And I would say
that curbside and online ordering.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was about ready to head down that road. As we head
One
back
step ahead of
into
you.
as we head back into no dining in some places like Baltimore City, no outdoor dining either. Hold your tongue. I see I see where you're going, but these guys are not going to make it if we don't get delivery. So,
Well, and like the great thing about online ordering is that I was able to place an order from my home here outside of Boston to a brewery in Austin, Texas, Austin, Massachusetts, and then you were able to go get it.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. And I don't know, some of these places will ship to you too.
Massachusetts is a big, press your luck X when it comes to that. No whammies.
Yeah.
The Puritans here, depending on how long this goes, they're going to have to change that law because all of these fantastic microbrews in Vermont and New Hampshire and Washington and Virginia are shipping all over the place, but they're not shipping to Massachusetts where a lot of rich white people live. So, you might want to think that's, your audience, and it discourages people from, shipping it in the mail, which is illegal.
Hey, Becky checking in here. Thanks for watching tonight. Yes and no, I guess. I mean, I'm willing to freeze a few toes off or fingers off for some outdoor dining if I had to. During the day. Or I'll say this, like today, here anyway. I know you guys maybe not, but it was really nice here today. I ate lunch outside on the patio of the house, but evening, no, you can't. Once the sun goes down, you can't do it.
So I was at a brewery on Monday night, and on one of the patios, they actually put the plastic igloos.
Yeah, but that's not outdoor dining anymore.
No. It's over the individual tables.
Oh.
Over the individual tables.
So you wear your mask to your table, sit down, take it off.
Right, but each table has its own bubble, so it's not like you're in a massive area.
Because those other ones I've seen you built a structure outside. It's not outside.
Yeah, no. We're a red state, so you can eat indoors. So
happy Hanukkah, Becky. I saw Becky was making a challah tonight for Hanukkah, according to her Facebook. I hope it turned out really well.
Is that Rebecca Miller?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, the Rios threw me.
But we can.
I know that was not very Jewish.
The we can joke all we want, but the challah is a wonderful bread. Put some butter on that, or you make French toast. It's a wonderful bread.
I have to side towards semolina bread, but I'm biased.
I know you won't give us any credit. You will not give the Jews any credit. Like we contribute. What about some really fucking good potato pancakes?
Lockies.
Yeah, well,
hand shredded, because Grandma always said, "Don't you fucking dare use anything but a hand shredder for the fucking potato pancakes."
Sure, yeah, and then you get some of your knuckles in there, but
it's tasty.
Yeah, but I think gnocchi is better if we want to talk potato dumplings. So
two entirely different things. Who doesn't love great gnocchi?
Well, I see your gnocchi and I raise you a pierogi. So.
Yeah. I got you there.
All right, start bench cut. Latkes, pierogies, gnocchi.
I prefer my gnocchi with ricotta, not with potato, so I have to go with gnocchi.
Okay.
Sorry, with pierogi.
That's fair. Does that make it lighter? Like
yeah,
much. Yeah. You have to.
Yeah.
It's not a starch.
That's right.
And none of this heavy sauce with the gnocchi. Sometimes you go and it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You tell them.
That's right. That's right, Mush.
No, I love gnocchi. I probably have it once a year because it has to be good. Like where you fucking just get it to get it, right?
Yeah.
So it's Thursday night, and this week we'll get to the first place Giant. First of all, 2 weeks in a row, Giants are still in first place. Let's just say it. We're happy about it. Here we are. But real quick, it is Thursday night. We are back. Thursday Night Football is back. We have the 6-6 Patriots visiting the 8-4 Rams. The Rams seem to be hot. I still have questions, but what do you think for tonight? And the line is I don't know what lines. Yeah, I'm seeing 4.5. I'm seeing the Rams given
4.5. Let's see. My private betting service has the Rams giving 5, and that is as of right now, 4 minutes before kickoff.
Okay.
Is it 4 minutes before kickoff? Right? Is that right?
It's 9 minutes.
Oh, excuse me.
8:20, right? Is it 8:20?
Just a quick Hala update, Becky. We're gonna do a review of that shortly. I'm gonna get it on the screen and we're gonna talk about it. But talk about your game first.
5 points in New Hampshire DraftKings as well, with an over under at 43.5.
Now that is it. I locked in at 4.5, so I got an extra half a point here. But I parlayed that with the under.
The under. So
I took the Rams in the under for this evening. So I'm very happy that Mush is predicting the Patriots.
No, I wasn't. No.
No, you said Pats.
No. I'm not. I think the Rams will cover. I go over. But I'll go over. I'll go to over.
It's a relatively low over under, but I'm taking the Pats and the points.
You know what? I'm feeling good about where I've been. I'm the only one to call the Giants on the money line. Oh no, that was the wrong game. But I still called the Giants last week. And I took it with 9 points. So,
well, I will say that on top of that, we said I reviewed the show from last week, and I said that if Wayne Gallman goes over 100 yards, the Giants beat the spread and win the game.
Yeah,
sure. At 126, that motherfucker got us into the fucking winner's circle, baby.
It's amazing what a competent offensive line can do. I mean, one of us could run for almost 100 yards when the offensive line is fucking cooking, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that the story really isn't the offensive line here; it's the defense. And we've gone from losing to the Eagles and losing to the Bears to Patrick Graham being talked about as the head coach candidate for next season in 8 weeks, gentlemen. Like, it's fucked
Isn't
up.
That crazy?
And the NFC Defensive Player of the Week this week is Leonard Williams. So thank you, Woody Johnson, for that wonderful pickup. Former Jet and current Giant with 2.5 sacks on Russell Wilson, one that forced a punt in a very big scenario. I think both of those sacks actually, or the 2.5 sacks, were both in the second half. And I mean, Bradbury, Martinez did go out of the game with a back injury, but he'll be back this week, just like Danny Dimes. And, we had talked last week, I personally was hesitating, about this, looking past the Seattle game for the Arizona game. And the fact that the Giants went into Seattle, granted there's no fans, and they kicked Russell Wilson in the mouth. And there's something wrong fundamentally with the Seahawks the Seahawks offense right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 4 weeks now we're talking. And I know this because he's my fantasy quarterback, and it's not good right now.
I'm not really sure and the media's obsession with the Seattle Seahawks is sort of weird. There was a play where DK Metcalf stiff-armed James Bradbury in the face, and whoever was calling the game, I think it was Moose Johnson.
Yeah.
Right? He's like,
terrible.
I think that guy needed some cocoa butter and a rub down after that play. And
DK Metcalf fell on his ass.
But what happened there? 3 things, right? Not only did Bradbury stop him, he's got like 4 inches and probably 40 pounds on him. He brought him down, and he stopped him where he hit him. So it was, I love DK Metcalf. I will not talk ill about him. I think he's going to be a superstar in the NFL. I mean, he already is. He's a talent. But the fact that James Bradbury, the 4th or whatever it is, a great free agent pickup, and see, okay, so sidebar, right, is that all of these pickups now, the Leonard Williams and the drafting Martinez, or bringing him in rather, and even Andrew Thomas is coming around. All of this benefits Bruce Gettleman in a way that we really shouldn't appreciate.
So I have a question. I have a question about this team now, because we're seeing the fruits of the coaching paying off. In my opinion, this team is a super well-coached football team. It's not just what Joe Judge says; it's what he's doing. Because I believe the talent roster, nothing's changed, and I still think they're playing above their threshold that they should be playing. But I guess my question is there Gettleman? did he construct a competent roster after all, and the coach is elevating even higher, or is it still a trash roster, and the coach is elevating 75% to 100% better? No. I don't know the answer to that.
I think you're getting individual performances here that exceed expectations, right? When you look at the team as a whole, you're like, there's no real superstar on this team, and Saquon's on the bench, and now Dimes is out, and your Golden Tate is in and out, Shepard is in and out, and Slayton, I don't think is out. He had one catch, on Sunday. Didn't have a catch the week before in the victory against the football team or whatever. But you're seeing guys. I mean, Leonard Williams is now tied, I think, for like 6th in the NFL. With 8.5 sacks or something, preposterous like that. And the last time he had that many, he was with the Jets in 2016 and went to the Pro Bowl. You're seeing these individual, even rookies are getting in on it, right? With interceptions and
the development, they're developing fast.
And I'm not going to say, the concept that was supposed to be Wayne Gallman and Saquon Barkley is now Wayne Gallman and Alfred Morris. Like, that was a brilliant pickup. I mean, Morris can run the ball in short distances. The Giants have trouble with 3rd and long, and you're giving the ball. I mean, and fuck Jason Garrett for that last offensive drive with the 3rd and 1 at the 2-minute warning and throwing the football. Like, if they run the ball there, granted the defense stood up and did their job. But, like, if you run the ball there, you end the game, right? So, like, the running game is working, and I think, Colt McCoy did just enough to win the game.
No mistakes and a couple of nice passes when he needed it. That's it. He didn't do anything wrong.
I think you got to really talk about Joe Judge's pedigree here. We've talked time and time again about the coaching tree, right?
Right.
And we've wanted to do a show just on, the Parcells coaching tree.
He may be the only one.
Right?
No. But on Belichick's trade.
Well, but it's Belichick and it's
Nick Saban.
Nick Saban, right?
That's part of it.
And it's like, if you look at his pedigree, he's got 2 of the best coaches in the history of the sport that have raised this guy on, the 2 biggest stages of the sport. And was it 9 months ago? We all were like, why the hell are we getting a special teams coach when we need the best guy out there? And this guy probably was the best guy. That was our initial reaction, at least.
Oh God, but we were despondent,
right? But this guy is likely the best guy out there based on his attitude and his approach. He's got the disciplinarian approach of Tom Coughlin, and he's got the swagger of a Bill Parcells.
But he has the respect of a player now that needs. It's a different kind of player. They love this guy,
right?
Well, I mean, what's not to love about a guy that wears a Don Bosco prep sweatshirt?
Oh, you must have been in your heaven today. You must have been so darn excited that you needed to go lock yourself in the bathroom. But he holds the other thing accountable.
The Giants had 4 coaches in 5 years, right? So it was Coughlin, the McAdoo experiment, Shermer, who was not who he said he was, and now Joe Judge. So you need to bring in a younger, talent who can, relate to his players, because that was really what happened with Coughlin at the end of his term, right?
Yeah,
is that he was not relating to his players, and he had Eli and Dullock. I would follow Tom Coughlin into war. Right. Yeah. Because of what he did for this team over the 10 years, 12 years that he was there. But he did not necessarily evolve. Look at what's happening in Jacksonville now. He didn't evolve with the NFL.
And that's a great – this is like an evolved Coughlin. Does that make sense? This guy?
A younger version, like there's discipline. The problem with McAdoo is that nobody liked him and nobody gave him any –
We had no control. For the first time in our life, we had a Giants team that was the laughing – that felt like – an out-of-control football team that you see other teams make headlines for.
Well, it was a joke. He lost. He must have read the newspapers in the morning, which is a bad idea to begin with for any manager or coach in the New York metropolitan area. But benching Eli was his greatest sin, right? And when he took play calls over from from both coordinators, it's not going to work.
Well, Judge is the opposite. Judge won't do that.
Judge also brought in a guy that was a head coach for a division-winning team in the division, right? And aside again, I don't really, again, that third down, there are some questionable things that Jason Garrett does, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, why are you doing that right now? Run the football or do, and this is as a mildly educated, mildly intoxicated fan, right? And I'm like, come on, man, even I know better than that. I feel like I'm watching Kevin Gilbride.
Jason Garrett is a little bit of a bridge for Joe Judge to get comfortable. He's not a long-term OC here. He's going to go be a head coach somewhere else in a year or two, and they'll groom someone else.
It takes the response, and Patrick Graham has done a fine job, obviously, like now that people are even throwing around the fact that, and in the NFL, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He's an African-American. He's an attractive talent, right? Like you could, and if they have to interview, if teams have to interview, minorities first, he is the Giants should start locking that shit up.
This guy's going to get an interview. This guy's going to get multiple interviews.
The Giants, theoretically, if the defense had stood up at the beginning of the season, they could be, 8-4 at this point. I don't know.
Well, or if the offensive line came together quicker, they probably, the way I see it, they probably had 3 more wins than they currently have. But they don't, and that's it.
Was it unfair to say that Andrew Thomas was going to be the next, what's his name? The other guy, that Eric Flowers? Maybe, right? He's a rookie. You're coming into the NFL in a season where there's no fans and things are different, and you're going through testing protocols and and practices aren't the same. They're outside. They're cold. The Giants are going to play, at home against Arizona. I think this is the game at home this weekend. I don't know. Whatever.
I think so.
But in 11, 12 games, right, Andrew Thomas has already stepped up and filled the gap that was vacated by Nate Solder and by Eric Flowers. Nate Solder is sitting out the season. Granted, he's doing good things and charitable shit and all that, but the team there was here, do something with this, and now they are.
I saw an article yesterday.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm fucking excited.
You should be. I saw an article that Nate Solder is considering retirement, it sounded like. But so I ask you this. It's a tough question, too. Well, first of all, Gettleman deserves a shit ton of credit for hiring Joe Judge now. In retrospect, we have to give him credit where credit's due. That is a Gettleman decision. I don't see where anyone else made that call. Owners signed off, but it's a Gettleman decision.
I think that John Mara did have a little bit of hand in that, and then his relationship with the Patriots,
sure,
is one thing. But yes, if we go back as the unofficial ombudsman of this program, we went back and we told, it was like Gettleman's fucking trash, get rid of him, whatever. And now this bizarre puzzle of shit that he put together is starting to gel. Yeah. And I don't know why. And it's, part of it probably has to do with the fact that the rest of the division is shit.
But I think it's gelling because of Joe Judge. That's the answer.
I agree.
That's the answer. And part of the answer too will go. The Redskins are winning games because of the fucking Juan Rivera.
Juan Rivera, Ron Rivera, Riverboat Juan.
The Giants are at home and they're 3.5-point dogs, which is surprising.
They're going to win the game on Sunday.
The lines are all fucked up this week.
They're bad. We're going to
get to that with the picks of the week, but
picks,
they are fucked.
The funny thing about watching the Redskins play against the Steelers, the Steelers are bound to lose. I don't think they're good. I think they're overvalued to begin with. But watching the Redskins play, the football team play the Steelers, I saw a lot of comparisons to what happened with the Giants and the Steelers. The Giants and the Seahawks. Right? The defense stood up. The Steelers got the ball back with 2.5 minutes left in the game, and on the first throw that Roethlisberger made, a lineman tipped the ball and a linebacker intercepted it. I mean, that is right out of the Patrick Graham play.
Well,
so I feel like I'm watching the same game.
And as a result, the Steelers are underdogs this week against a Bills team that nobody really thought would win last week.
Well,
they showed up.
The Steelers are shook, right? I mean, they look like shit.
Yeah, they did
on whatever day they played this week.
Monday.
Afternoon. One other thing about the Giants, real quick, before we get to the rest of the NFL, Saquon being out now, and the way this team's developing, I feel like this makes the team a stronger football team and develops other players faster because you're having to. You can't just say, "Oh, it's whatever, run with Saquon," right?
I don't know about that because, like, then the ball. I don't think Wayne Gallman is not David Wilson, right? Like, Wayne Gallman holds the ball. He's a big guy. He can run with authority. And then you bring in Alfred Morris and you put that on top of that. You mix it up. And I mean, Gallman is a talented running back. And now, after all this, if you give these guys a fullback, look the fuck out. Like, if you give me a Madison Hedgecock right now or a fucking Rhinoceros.
Where's Rhinoceros? Yeah, where's the fucking Rhinoceros right now?
Because look, you shouldn't look. First, two things: you shouldn't have Saquon Barkley out there throwing blocks for Daniel Jones, and you should not have Daniel Jones throwing blocks for Saquon Barkley or Wayne Gallman.
That's a good point.
Not the way it goes.
Well, they'll keep getting hurt.
Well, you just can't put your quarterback in that situation. If he's going up against a 350-pound fucking lineman or a 275 ripped ass fucking 22-year-old linebacker, that's not gonna work. And you have a tight end who's, okay. So let's talk about that for a second. We have seen over the last 4 weeks an evolution of Evan Ingram, right? We went from the drop pass in the Eagles game that they should have fucking won, that if he caught that ball, we're having a different conversation, but they gave the ball back and the Eagles won the game. Since then, he has played exceptional football, and there's no way around it. And
But Dan, if he could just get rid of that one bad drop a game, because he had one last week, he had one the week before, he still has that one bad drop a game that you're like, holy shit. If he'd stop doing that, he could be an elite tight end.
Right. So hit him over the middle. And again, Evan Ingram is almost a slot receiver, right? So, but he doesn't run routes down the sideline, which is where he drops passes. If you hit him over the middle, he can take a hit, but he cannot block. So you need a guy that's a little heftier, like a Jeremy Shockey. I'm not, going like who the quintessential Kevin Boss, exactly.
That was fantastic. We forget how good he was.
He was a running, blocking, catching tight end.
He did everything. He was great.
Yeah.
And I have my picture with him at the White House after they won
the
glorious Super Bowl in the history of Super Bowls.
What miraculously has stopped with the Giants winning streak, and they go hand in hand, is turnovers. They have not turned over the football.
And I mean, Arizona is stumbling right now. And I mean, the Giants are riding high and they are hot. So, I mean, I am taking the Giants as my lock this week. I think it's even if they're dogs, I would put, sorry, Andrew, but your college education is going on the Giants this weekend.
so let's get there. What did you have for the line? What do you guys have for the line? I'm looking at Arizona giving 2.5.
Hang on.
So I don't know what's going on, but all of a sudden the Cardinals and the Giants are offline. With my betting site.
Wow.
We'll go to the Broncos and the Panthers.
So I'm showing 3. All right. So I'm on DraftKings. Giants are getting 3. So and the with an over 45.5.
I gotta tell you, this is a fucking great line. I got the Bills at 1.5. And
well, let's go. Well, let's finish Giants real quick. So Dan, you're clearly Giants.
I love Kyler Murray. He's going to be a talent for years to come in this league. And Chase Edmonds is good, but not great. I'm worried about if Kyler can get the ball out, which I'm not sure that he will be able to. Obviously, he has Larry Fitzgerald and he's got DeAndre Hopkins. Those are good, pretty good targets. But I mean, if Bradbury can bottle up DK Metcalf, I think he can handle DeAndre Hopkins.
Mm-hmm. The line or the money line?
Well, hold on. The Giants at plus 125, and that's a crappy money line to begin with for a fucking underdog.
Right.
Arizona's at 148, minus 148. It's at 3 points, so make it 6. Call it 6 at home. I'd take the Giants either way. And the over-under is 45.5. I'd take the over. I think the Giants, if Jones comes back, I think the Giants could score some points.
Matthew?
We're talking about the Giants line or the pick of the week?
Giants. We'll start Giants and then we'll.
I would take if Dimes comes back, I take the money line, the points. If he doesn't, I would take the money line.
Even supposedly he looks good to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, he was pushing off at practice today. They practice outside, which is good. I'm not sure if they can practice inside of New Jersey right now. I mean, the irony about the coronavirus here is that this is one of those seasons and one of those games that where the Giants are riding extremely high in 4 wins, and like the parking lot at MetLife would be absolutely fucking litified this weekend if there were games, if there were fans rather. And that place would actually, I mean, how many times have we been to the big air conditioner in East Rutherford?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really generate a lot of excitement. I mean, I went to the Giants-Jets game on Christmas Eve back in 2017 when the Giants, or whatever, no, 2014 when the Giants went to the Super Bowl the second time. And I mean, that was like the most electric atmosphere I've ever had there. And it was still like, one step above the fucking, piano recital for a third grader. Like, it doesn't generate excitement. But I mean, this is one of those weekends where fans everybody else are like, "Hey, man, anything can fucking happen this year. Like, why not? Why not us?
Yeah,
let's take the Red Sox stupid low, thing and tagline. I mean, if the Giants beat Arizona this weekend, look the fuck out. And the best thing about this whole little run here is that the Giants flexed the Cowboys at a Sunday night for the first time since Sunday Night Football existed. And it was like to play fucking Baker Mayfield.
Right. The Giants and Browns kicked the fucking Cowboys at a prime time. That alone right there just made the season.
I wish that fucking Odell Beckham was playing.
Oh my God.
Sunday.
There's
and what better way to start your Christian holiday but with the Giants on Sunday nights at 8:00 after the kids go to bed. Oh boy, there may be some Blantons that night because it's gonna, and especially if they win this weekend, and don't forget they hold the tiebreaker with 2 wins over the shitty ass football team who in a way got. I mean, look, I love Alex. I hate Alex Smith, especially after his smug face in the fucking.
I love Alex Smith. That's what it's so hard because
when the Giants beat them in the NFC Championship game back in 2013 or 14 or whatever it was, and his smug ass face walking off the field, I was like, why don't you and Jim Harbaugh go and take a shower together? Calm the fuck down. And now, yes, he's a great story now, right? And we all feel bad for him. His legs bleed in the middle of the game, but don't forget, it's the same guy.
There's a lot of good football this weekend, so there's a few games we need to talk about. One game we don't need to talk about is the Cowboys and the Bengals. We'll skip that one, or the Texans and the Bears. There's some bad football too.
From a content perspective, Bengals Cowboys horrible game. From a betting perspective, the money line on this game. Somebody decided that the Bengals were underdogs on this, which
I don't know.
Granted, it's 2 shitty teams.
Also, the over/under is artificially low.
Yes, it's 3.5. Sorry, the over/under is 42.
Yeah.
But the money line Bengals are plus 165 as underdogs. I think they will very easily handle the Cowboys. I think that's an easy bet to lock down some easy cash.
Stay with me here. I have a monster parlay for you.
Okay.
The Giants over the Cardinals, the Saints over the Eagles, the Seahawks over the Jets. These are all money line. Titans over the Jaguars and the Chiefs over the Dolphins. So 5-team parlay, go all the way.
All right, hold on. Wait, get back to my
I can give you some soccer tips.
Giants. What the fuck did you say?
All right. Giants, Saints, Seahawks, Titans, Chiefs. Let's see. Right now in New Hampshire, $100 bet on that wins you $600. So you're getting 6-1 off of that.
Saints. I can't bet the Giants money line. Can I?
No. The Saints are playing the Eagles. The Seahawks are playing the Jets. The Titans are playing the Jaguars. And the Chiefs are playing the Dolphins.
Let's talk Titans-Jaguars real quick. Titans got their fucking asses handed to them by the Browns. The Jaguars are really bad. They're giving 7.5. Are we sure? I know you said the money line. but can they fucking cover?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't know.
I wouldn't bet that. I mean,
here's the thing though: is that Baker was priceless on Sunday.
Oh my god,
that dude could not miss, and the defense showed up. I mean, that team is humming right now, and I mean,
nobody gives a shit.
Exactly.
Literally, nobody cares. No one cares except my good friend, our good friend Kyle Edwards.
Right,
that's the only person who cares.
Thank you for
shout out to Kyle. Yes, thank you. Glad you've returned to the homeland as well.
Oh, good. I think it's also tough that they're playing in the same division, right, as the Steelers. So the Steelers are the story, and they're the Steelers. So, and the funny thing is that the Browns, in the same kind of way as the Giants are doing it, with a developing quarterback, a rookie wide receiver. Some, Chubb is back, yes, but and some, Javaris Landry, like they put that team together to help Baker out, and now they're doing it, and everybody's like, maybe just no one wants to admit the fact that like they did it right.
So great Monday night. I think it's going to be a very good Monday night game. Ravens visiting the Browns, giving 2 to the Browns.
Oh man,
that's electric. That game's electric. I would do that. I'd go Browns. Browns.
Against your better wishes, I mean, Lamar Jackson on whatever night they played again, Monday night. I mean, a rushing touchdown, 3 touchdowns in the air, like. They've run the same rushing play for the last 3 weeks, I think. And
how do they get away with it, though? Why do they get away with it?
Because when they call it on the 15-yard line, the line shows up, and Lamar knows how to run that play. And Lamar Jackson he's very, very talented. And you were like, oh, he sucks. I'm like, yeah, that's why he put up 3 touchdowns and like 400 fucking yards.
He threw a dime. Passing game.
The one pass that he threw, I forgot who was the receiver, but it was his second passing touchdown in the corner of the end zone. There are very few quarterbacks in the NFL right now that could make that pass, and it was beautiful to watch.
I'm going. So that game on Monday, I will. I'll pick the Browns. Getting 2.
That's a fair bet. I think it's like you said, it'll be a great game, and it will be. So. It will follow great football all weekend because you know what I mean. Football, like we said at the beginning of the year, nothing will stop the NFL.
Yeah, the Sunday night game also fantastic. The Bills are hosting the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean the Bills are hot. They are the new Patriots in a way, right?
I believe you said their quarterback sucked too last week, Jason.
I did. I'm really on a roll here.
Josh Allen, he's just terrible.
So they're giving 1.5 to the Steelers. What are your feelings on this one?
No, Bills all the way.
Yeah. Yep.
The Steelers have been knocked off their pedestal now. Allen is playing well. First of all, if you have Cole Beasley in fantasy and you were like in 7th place and now you're in the playoffs, you should send a Christmas card to Cole Beasley. Because that guy had a fucking career day on Sunday. And the fact that Allen, finally loops him into the offense is going to be dangerous. And I'm not sure that if the Steelers' offense cannot match the Steelers' defense, then they're in trouble. Like if the Steelers' defense cannot keep the other team off the field and from scoring points, I'm not sure that the Steelers' offense is good enough to do that. Like to match.
Yeah. Yep. No, I think they're in trouble on Sunday.
And now we're also week 14? We're in Big Ben knee injury territory here. So
he's been way too healthy this season. So this actually will be a good game. Washington football team visiting the Niners in Arizona. The Santa Clara, San Francisco 49ers of Glendale, Arizona. San Fran giving 3.5. Washington looked good last week. What are your thoughts on this one?
San Francisco just played the Patriots?
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. No. The Patriots played the Chargers.
The Niners are still in the playoff hunt.
Who did they just play this weekend? Who did the Niners play this weekend? Anybody?
I'm looking up the Bills, and they lost.
Oh, yeah. The Bills ran all over them. Cole Beasley. Right. So we just talked about that. Whoever the Niners are playing, I take them.
The Niners are. I think after this week's loss,
Kittle's out.
5-7.
Jimmy G's out. Kyle Shanahan with the stupid hat. I don't like him.
Okay.
Not even playing in their own stadium. Even their own government threw him out. Fuck them.
So Washington, they're the underdog, 3.5.
They're playing the football team. Ooh.
They're playing. They're playing. The Niners are playing the football team.
All the Giants have to match the football team to the end.
Right. That's it. That's all they have to do.
Actually, they can shed a game, right? Because there's 2 games, and they have the 2 games at hand.
And then a tiebreaker.
I don't know how that works. Yeah. We need an ombudsman.
Just keep winning. Who cares? Just keep winning.
Match the football team.
Do you like the football team against the Niners though?
I do, actually. Yeah. So fuck. But that's okay because the Giants are going to win this weekend, so it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they have the tie break and absolutely. I noticed you did not include on your parlay the Packers giving 7.5 to the Lions, who are atrocious.
All right, so I should add. So these are all money lines, right? So I should put the Packers in there. Thank you. They have no coach.
I don't know. Well, I don't know what it will do to your money line because they're showing minus 420. So I don't know if that's a good add-in.
Let's see. So right now, what did I say? $100 pays $580. Let's put the talk amongst yourselves. They put the Packers in there.
What does that do?
20 boosted to up to $720 on $100. So it gives you $100.
So I was not able to run a couple money lines, so I worked out another one. If you go with the Bengals, Vikings, Chiefs, and Saints on the money line, and then the Seahawks over the Jets on the spread.
They're not. I was just about to go there next. They're not covering.
What is it? 17?
13.5.
Oh, they're covered.
They're not covering.
$50. I laid $50. If I hit all 5, it's a $1,400 payout.
Oh shit!
It's pretty good for a Christmas Hanukkah gift.
Well, the fact that I'm saying they're not going to cover means you have to do it.
Say no more.
On the 5th day of Hanukkah,
next segment
gave to me the Seahawks covering over the Jets.
Do you think opinion? Do you think that call last week on the last play for the Jets came from the sidelines or from up above?
Both. I mean, they ran. Look, Greg Williams ran the same play, rushing 8 twice.
I think he's a patsy.
He's an unemployed patsy right now.
They're all getting fired anyway.
They're not going to fire Gase because you can't fire Gase because you literally have to lose every game. So you don't want to fire Gase. Like that would go against what you're trying to do.
Everybody knew what was going to happen on that play, right? And they showed it, and they went man in the secondary. And, I mean, if I'm Greg Williams, who's been in this – I don't like Greg Williams personally, but he's been in this league a long time. I mean, it was pretty obvious, was it not?
Just unbelievable. So
I'll be right back.
You want to act shocked, but it's like, how are you shocked? It's the fucking Jets. I feel bad for Jets fans. I do. Like, I don't hate the Jets. It's not the same. It's different with football and even with baseball. And I know you hate the Yankees, but I don't hate the Mets. I don't hate the Mets, right? Because it's not the same. We're not in the same division or the same conference. It's not the same in my mind. Now, if they realigned baseball and they finally gave us what we wanted and we had like the Yankees and the Mets and the fucking Phillies all in the same division.
I don't want that.
I want that. Bad.
The American League is the American League. The National League is the National League.
Because when we go all DH, it's stupid. We go all DH next year. Why can't you have natural rivals fighting each other for the fucking division like every other sport?
The National League came first.
You never want to come first.
Well, that's probably why you're fucking single.
But you're missing a heated argument. I don't know how he got there.
I heard
okay, I am a proponent of Major League Baseball realigning, and you get all your fucking local teams in the same division, and you play.
I want to play the Red Sox.
Yankees Mets 15 times a year means the division. How fucking awesome would that be?
The only benefit
How fucking awesome.
The only benefit to the Mets is playing the fucking Orioles.
It's all. This is antiquated. This is antiquated. This is totally antiquated now. Everyone's gonna have a DH. AL, NL means nothing. Why don't you want your fucking rivals playing each other for meaningful games?
They're not rivals.
That's the problem. That's the fucking problem. Don't you want to hate? I want to hate the Mets like I hate the Islanders, and I don't. I want to hate the Mets like I hate the Devils, and I don't. You're
gonna get a taste of this rivalry thing when it comes to the NHL this year. So you can pilot it with the NHL and the real.
But it's not piloted with the NHL. The NHL is always a rivalry. It's not. This won't be different, really.
I agree with Mr. Soriano.
Because I'm not saying
Joseph, whatever the fuck his name is, LeMahieu, fucking.
Because I'm not saying you don't play other teams. I'm not saying they don't play other teams or other divisions. What I'm saying is the dozen games they're going to play the Mets in the same division will be for the fucking division. It'll be great. Those 6 games they play every year, stupid as fuck. Why are we doing it? It doesn't mean anything.
Because the Yankees win 4 out of 6 of them. That's why they do it. The same argument can be made about playing the Red Sox all the time, right? So those 16 games the Yankees play against the Red Sox, now the Tampa Bay Rays every year, that's what determines the division.
You got to remember, for like 2 decades, the World Series was only played in New York. It was the Yankees versus the Giants, the Yankees versus the Dodgers.
Correct.
I want fucking revenge on 2000.
Listen,
you're
getting it the Subway Series like once every fucking 47 years.
I want Thor to pick up a fucking jagged bat and shove it up Brett Gardner's fucking odd-shaped skull.
Brett Gardner's not coming back.
Or whoever.
I know we got off on a tangent there, but there has been baseball news this week, and it's really all from the fucking Mets yesterday. Now you got me cranky. I don't hate this. I want to see them go hog wild. There's a catcher. So the word was James McCann, but then apparently they're still talking to Real Muto. I know you have the inside scoop. I know you have sources, Mr. Soriano. What are you hearing for the Mets catching situation? They're going to make some noise soon. What is going to happen here? Is this a smoke? Is the McCann a smoke screen? And is Real Muto really the guy? Or are they going McCann and are they going to go get some other guys to supplement?
I supposedly we're hot on McCann.
I thought you were going to.
The Angels have been there since the very beginning. And enough of that.
The Angels? What are the Angels doing?
Hot on McCann from the beginning. I'm not a huge fan of the guy, but I can tell you, Joel Sherman knows baseball, and Joel Sherman says that he's the better of the two. I think it's a ploy to get Real Muto to come.
I think it's a ploy.
Yeah. Because giving McCann 4 years, I think, is fucking stupid. The Mets have some Dominican kid in the farm system that's supposed to be really great. And Sandy knows the system. He drafted half of these guys, what's left of them. So I think that they're playing games trying to get Real Muto to come down in years. That's my theory. The lack of a DH is really kind of putting a kink in things, because if there was a universal DH, having a guy like McCann really helps, because you can kind of play a carousel and have different guys. That really helped them last year, because sometimes it was Alonso, sometimes it was this guy, that guy.
I think it's a ploy. Who knows how it turns out? But I honestly think they're real targets, Real Muto. It would be crazy not to be, right? And I think they're gonna. It sounds like Springer's the next guy. That's the one that's ringing all the bells.
In Connecticut.
The question after that is, where does Lindor go? And the big elephant in the room, Dan. The big elephant in the room is what is going to happen with DJ LeMahieu, MVP.
Actually, I don't think it is. I think it's Trevor Bauer, and he's not going to go to the Yankees because
Bauer won't be a Yankee. They're not going to pay. They're not going to pay him what he wants.
Well,
and he's not a Yankee. He's not a fucking Yankee.
Well, I heard that he's got a problem with fucking Pretty Boy that they signed last year.
No, I don't think that's the issue. I think the Yankees don't want a Trevor Bauer who speaks his own mind. God forbid.
Can we talk about this deal that's apparently being floated for the Yankees with Josh Bell and Jameson Taillon?
Yeah,
Voit and either Davey or fucking Clark Schmidt.
I didn't care for it. If you're gonna move Voit, you better be doing better than that.
And hang on a second, you don't want to hug prospects anymore, right? So you've got Davey who went out there and showed himself to be pretty good in this weird season and threw a fucking win if he in the playoffs. And now what are you gonna do? His value is high. So can you turn that into a Jameson Taillon? I think you can. I think the Steelers, the Pirates are willing to deal.
Bell is really good too.
So Voit has to be in that deal because then who the fuck is going to play first base?
Right.
And you already have your DH with Stanton. You need a left fielder.
Yeah, I know.
Yankees don't need infielders. They need fucking corner outfielders, and they need fucking pitching.
Well, your corner outfield is held up here. You between Judge, Stanton, Frazier. I mean, you're covered. You can't really add outfielders.
Well, I think what's interesting too, to your point, Jay-Z, is that the Yankees. We've talked about it when Mr. Canner was on this show as well. But the Yankees obviously have no interest in leveraging Aaron Judge. He is going to be a Yankee for his entire career.
I think
it probably turned out to be David Wright, the forgotten fucking Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
apparently also Aaron Boone is going to be a Yankee for life, according to.
Don't you fucking start with me! I will fucking go jump through this screen right now and end up in your living room in 3 seconds and smash that bottle of fucking the Basil Hayden's over your head. Okay, even better. I won't waste any alcohol.
I didn't say it.
Well, so let's go on record real quick. Let's get back to the elephant. Dan, DJ, what ends up happening?
The Yankees sign him.
They go 5 years, or he caves to 4?
They go 5 years. I mean, they have no reason not to at this point. I mean, the rest of your lineup is set. You need one more starter. So, I mean, the other thing is that Luke Voit has completely outperformed while he has been with the Yankees. He is a tradable piece that someone like the Pittsburgh Pirates could take.
Because he'll never be expensive. So he's perfect for the Pirates.
Yeah, and if it's going to call – I don't like trading either Schmidt or Garcia. But, again, pitchers are pitchers. They're not position players. So you sign DJ. You give him the 5 years. You get off your fucking horse. You do it. The man is he was born to be a Yankee. He has done everything.
And he knows it, too. He understands.
It's not even about that. It's about the fact that, he tied the fucking ALCS Game 6 game last year, right? He was the batting champion this year. He is who he is, and he plays good defense, and he's versatile.
The Yankees losing 6.
And the what?
The Yankees losing 6.
Yeah, I mean – So, last year they lost in 6, right, in the ALCS, and everybody's sitting there down in there. I was sitting on my recliner all sad. I'm like, oh, they're going to put guys on base. The thing is that when that lineup turns over and DJ gets up there, anything can happen, and everybody knows that. The guy hit 400 for 2 months.
He's the perfect fit for this team. So this is where I agree. I think he
has. If he were 10 years younger, he would be a fucking career Yankee. Granted, he wouldn't be, he wouldn't be who he is now, but he is not a generational talent, but he is the kind of guy the Yankees go out and keep.
I also think he's going to age well. He's going to age well. He's not an oversized slugger.
He went through last year, and with the extension, they put the extension off to see what he was going to do this year. And he went out there and won a batting title, and then he kept you in games.
Right.
He is the guy. He is so versatile that nobody saw it coming.
When you look at the Yankees lineup, they need that guy, and I am okay investing 5 years in DJ LeMahieu. Now,
just give him fucking money.
If we're betting men, which we are, I agree. Now, I think the perfect fit for the Mets is Lindor. I think they're going to take advantage of the poorers. Every team is poor except the Mets right now. They're going to.
And then we don't have to trade.
And then Francisco Lindor becomes the next Jose Reyes.
No, Lindor will succeed with the Mets. I think he's a perfect fit for the Mets. I think Lindor is the perfect fit for the Mets. The way DJ is for the Yankees, I do. I think he would be absolutely outstanding on that team. He'd be good in New York, and he's still so young. This guy's got so many years ahead of him. He'd be what a pickup.
Are you talking about Jose Reyes, or are you talking about Francisco?
Jose Reyes was fine as a Met. He won a batting title. It wasn't until he went to Colorado and Miami that he beat his wife and tailed off.
Right.
Look, Jose Reyes was in the city. You know, he was there when Hanley Ramirez was in the league. He was never going to be Hanley Ramirez. He tried to live up to that, and it didn't work. And he played in New York on the wrong team that no one gave a fuck about, and he was overshadowed by David Wright, and that's tough. So
David Wright was
what?
Wright was the better player. He just got
absolutely. I don't disagree. I like David Wright. Great guy. But wouldn't take him out to dinner, but we're having a discussion here about position players, right? And I think if Lindor,
could be worse. What if he's Ray Ordonez?
I am not sold on Lindor like you are, Jason. I don't.
I like Lindor a lot. In fact, I want DJ and Lindor in the Yankees, but that ain't gonna happen.
How many better shortstops are there in the league
than Lindor?
4, 5.
Oh no, I don't think so. I have to do a deep dive. That bat as a shortstop now? I don't think so.
Yeah, the retired guys like deep dive. We're gonna put a PowerPoint together. You fucking check it
out. And if you think you don't have what it takes to trade for him, you're
you're talking about the Mets or the Yankees?
The Mets. So Matt's saying that he doesn't think the Mets have pieces to trade for Lindor, but when teams trade players like this, they never get back what they probably should.
The problem with the Mets is they don't have equivalent position players to trade for Lindor. They have pitching, they have outfielders, they have a fucking first baseman. That's
our number 2 starter had John surgery. We were a little light.
Well, so here's the thing, right? We're talking about. I want to go back to, if you will indulge me for a second. I want to go back to this thing with Talion and Bell, right? Like Jameson Talion hasn't pitched consistently in the league for 2 years. He's off his second fucking Tommy John surgery, right? So you're going to trade a consistent home run hitting first baseman, which is big at Yankee Stadium. And if you're going to play 82 games next year or 81 games at Yankee Stadium, you're going to trade. And Josh Bell may replace that. I get that. And the Yankees. So I'm arguing with myself right now. I'm negotiating with myself, which is like the last thing you want to do. But if you bring in Talion, right? So how does the Yankee rotation look next year, right? Were they trying to bring Davey or trying to bring Clark Schmidt into the rotation? So you have Garrett Cole, you have Masahiro Tanaka, and you have
Tanaka's not back yet. I don't know if he's
right, but then so then you've got
you have nothing.
No,
you have Gumby, you have Montgomery,
and fucking what's his name? I keep thinking Soriano. Why am I Severino?
Right. But he's not back until like June.
Okay,
and Herman is, let's see where his head's at.
Here's a question for you. If Domingo Herman stays with the Yankees 2 years ago, do they win the World Series?
Oh, if he doesn't jack himself up?
If he doesn't beat his wife, leaving CeCe's birthday party?
Probably not, but it sure as hell didn't help.
So let's talk about the Yankees. If the season started tomorrow, right, the Yankees have Garrett Cole, blank, Jordan Montgomery, blank.
Yeah, you're fucked.
It's not great. Not good. Not great, Bob.
And if I'm counting on Devi and Clark Schmidt or Michael King to all come up at the same, you can't do that for what's supposed to be a contending baseball team. That's what drives me crazy.
Jason, this goes against what you said earlier in our 30 episodes, in that we're not going to prospect hug anymore, right?
Yeah.
So we gave Davey a debut in the same way that the Yankees debuted Andahar, right? They gave him a showcase.
And now look what happened to him.
Look, and now he's fucking backseat.
He's worth nothing.
I mean, if you're going to trade him, trade him. get the value out of them now, because in 2 years or a year, it's not going to mean shit.
No, I understand. Pitchers are like voodoo, though. I mean, it's so fucking hard to figure out.
And if there weren't if this season never happened in the way that it did, we wouldn't even be talking about Clark Schmidt right now. Nobody would know who the fuck he is, because he would be at wherever the Yankees minor league AA stadium is. It ain't in Trenton anymore.
You guys have bigger problems. You have 2 outfielders that can't stay on the field.
I don't disagree. Well. I don't disagree with you.
No, either of those outfielders could still hit 35 home runs a season.
And
if they could swing the bat,
strike out 700 times the same season.
Take Army. They're playing at home.
I mean, that's right. They are playing at home tomorrow. That's the first time since when that's happening? Like 30 years, 40 years?
Hard pivot there.
I know. It was good.
Army-Navy game. It's going to be played at West Point. I'm assuming no fans, because it's in the great state of New York.
Yeah, Cuomo is going to be there to supervise.
Isn't that technically federal land, though?
He's going to be like looking. He's going to be like, "Are you guys watching? Oh, how many fans do you have?"
They're going to have him up on the goalpost. One of those
technically on an Army base, though.
True. So, but it still is in New York. I would still take Army. Fuck it.
I was asking
how many. What's the? I should have done my research on this. When
we need game spread here.
Army, Navy's good. Army at home. Will the commander-in-chief be there in his last act as commander-in-chief? See, Tom's picking Army. Fuck it, I'm picking Army.
I'm trying to find it.
Man, you got me fired up talking about the Yankees.
Buffalo's given 32.5 to Akron.
Buffalo?
Remember, that's the guy with the 8 touchdowns?
Oh, 8 touchdowns.
Army's given 7. Take Army all day.
Yeah, all day. Man, baseball. Just see, this is I go through these cycles, right? It's like if you ask me in July what my favorite sport is, I'm like, fuck you, baseball. You ask me in December what my favorite sport is, I am so into football, and so like I will watch every fucking football game that's on television. My wife hates it. Oh,
holy shit! Florida's given 22.5 to LSU.
LSU is garbage right now.
Yeah, they're fucking decimated.
Terrible.
They got nobody. And this is the thing. I mean, COVID really fucked the college sports this year, man. Like Ohio State, Michigan, oof,
I know.
Canceled. Outright canceled. So the joke was like, it's the first time that Ohio State, will not have to prevent Michigan from making the top 4. And does this go into like fucking geographics? Yes. But I mean, you're gonna have. What did I tell you on Thanksgiving, Jay-Z? What did I tell you? Stay the fuck away from rivalry games.
Yeah, it's true.
Don't bet them. Don't just watch them and enjoy it. You know what? Because and so I forget who it was that said the other day, I'm getting burned out with sports. I'm like, dude, remember fucking 6 months ago?
Yeah,
we had no sports. And I had to fucking get Netflix because I had nothing to watch on television.
Let's hope we don't go back that way. There was promising news for the NHL. Hopefully we get a final.
I think the NHL will come
tomorrow.
Back. We're going to play a 56-game season.
And basketball's ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, the NBA is going to go. Forget it. I mean, whether they bubble or whether they don't, the NBA is coming back.
It's full steam ahead. So this winter, we should have additional items other than football soon. And that is that's exciting. That's very exciting.
Do you guys know? Are they going? The NBA is playing in
arenas. Their home arenas. Yeah. Did they realign or
no?
No.
I mean, really, all the NBA gives a fuck about is Christmas, right? They want to get through those Christmas games, sell some jerseys. Did I buy a fucking Houston Rockets baby blue shooting shirt? Yes, I did.
Of course you did. I got to give the NBA credit, though. They got the offseason. Their offseason is full of hype. The player signings, all the action, everything going on, the trades. There's so much happening that, like, the NHL should be ashamed of themselves. Nobody wants to sign players. Nothing goes on. It's fucking dead. The NBA has got fucking balls to the wall shit.
Well, here's an insight, right? Is that the The NHL and the NBA bubbled, right? And then, they got through the initial hump, right? And we're back into the second, whatever you want to call it, wave. And the NFL is like, we're going to travel around and we're going to do shit and we're going to deal with fucking infections and we're going to deal with this and deal with that. And yeah, they're going to move games around because the NFL rules all fucking sports in fucking America. And they have broadcast contracts and so does the NCAA, right? So now we've gone through that. So if you figure that happens, then you get the NBA coming back with home arenas, no fans, whatever. And if you have cases, you have this, they can reschedule those games later on, right? After the vaccine comes out, because no one's going to get a fucking vaccine that until fucking May, all right? We're talking Memorial Day. So what are people going to want when the fucking sun is actually out for more than fucking 3 hours a day? They're going to want sports. And you deprived them of that last year, and everybody went fucking bananas. We started a fucking podcast, for Christ's sake.
By the way, 4th of July is going to be some fucking party.
Well, that's only if you're vaccinated.
Just saying. I'll meet you in Saratoga.
Do you want to?
Okay, we're going to do a show from Saratoga next year.
We are.
I said the other, last night, I sat at my kitchen bar over here yesterday with a fucking, with a Blanton's, and I was like, you know what? If I'm not standing with a Rocky Patel 92 on the rail at Saratoga in July, something will have gone wrong and everything will go bad. We're going to Saratoga next year. It's going to happen, and I'm going to punch fucking Mike Francis in the face.
We have to take our boy Stevie for that podcast.
It's 17-0 Rams. Cam Newton threw a pick six that was just.
Guess what? That only means
terrible.
It only means that Carson Wentz will be the white quarterback in New England again next year.
Carson Wentz. Oh, God.
We talked about this ad nauseum last week. Is it going to be Carson Wentz or is it going to be Sammy Darnold? Because the Eagles are, after last week, what are they? They finally, Doug Peterson is done, first of all, in Philadelphia. And he puts in Hurts, right? Who my dad is super high on Jalen Hurts, probably for a reason. Jesus told him to it's got to be Jalen Hurts, and I believe him. So Jalen Hurts becomes the full-time quarterback, or rather, in Philadelphia with who's going to, and what would be the real kicker is that Patrick Graham is his fucking head coach.
No, stop. No, stop. Bro, don't ruin this fucking
Jalen Hurts, quarterback in Philadelphia going forward. Where does Carson Wentz end up? He's a reclamation project. And what does Bill Belichick love when his career is on the line and his contract is up? Reclamation projects, baby.
He's not doing good with this one right now.
And but the other thing is that Sam Darnold is also a reclamation project. So who's it going to be?
Oh boy, here he goes again. Oh, now you got okay. Okay, so remember, hold on here real quick. Let me share the screen. We have a challah review tonight. Becky Miller Rios.
Looks pretty good.
The challah, I think it looks pretty good. The texture looks good. The shape is perfect, and I think it just needs a little more color. That's about it.
I think it needs more. It's short on braids.
It needs to be longer.
If you look at a traditional challah, it's tucked at the back. It doesn't have that. It doesn't have a little schwanz at the end.
But it looks like we obviously can't touch it or cut into it, but it looks like the texture is good, which is important. So, good job, Becky. Yeah, it's more than I brave to do. Challah.
It's no sesame seeded Italian bread from Leota, but it'll.
Listen, not many things are, right? God, Leota was the best. Oh my God.
I can remember when Leota had 25-cent Italian ices and a nickel gumball machine.
Damn.
A nickel gumball machine?
Oh yeah. Is that bread? Yes. It's a Jewish bread.
It's not Rockland Bakery bread, Tom. So
it's a Jewish bread to celebrate Hanukkah. So I guess what?
Is it Isn't it for Seder anyway? It's not even that. It's not. It's
for every fucking holiday. Every Friday you whip out the challah. And there's an excuse the challah comes out. Just whip it out. Show off everyone's challah. All right. So in true Thursday tradition, I know we want to watch the rest of this game. 10 minutes to go in the second quarter.
It's not even halftime yet.
Do you remember, Matt? Do you remember Leona's daughter?
What time is this?
9.
No,
yeah,
fuck.
I wasn't a teenager at the time, Eric, so I wasn't taking names.
Jesus Christ! What the fuck?
She gave me a black and white cookie. I liked her at that age.
They had the rainbow cookies there too, right? Yeah, great. What other cookies? So the black and whites are great. The rainbows. What's the cookie with the cherry in the middle? Is there a name for those?
The Virgin. You said that.
Probably
fucking set myself up.
Ninja Tarts had the jelly in the middle.
I didn't like those.
Oh, those are good. I like any kind of biscuit.
What about the Schweizel, huh?
Oh, I like a Schweizel.
Oh, can't find a good one around here. Although there's an Italian bakery in Gloucester, and the one time I went there, it was closed.
Oh,
I hear they make the best.
Is that your story?
I get those targeted ads for fucking Gold Belly advertising the BMW cake.
Yeah.
Like once a day it pops up. Like I don't even go on their website, but it's like I think about it, and that goddamn Jersey Bakery pops up on Gold Belly on Facebook, like it's in my head.
Oh, is that the place with the crumb cake?
Yeah, place in Hackney.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The crumb is like that much, and the cake is like.
You know who used to always pick it up coming over to events? Aunt Nancy.
No, I know.
How do you know?
I know. We talk. She used to live in that area. I went to our place in Fort Lee with you that time.
I don't remember.
I lived in that area for a while.
All right, we're off the rails. Anyway, closing thoughts, Matthew?
Yeah, this was good. I'm glad I have a second bottle of Basil Hayden's. Fingers crossed that I hit the 5-way parlay this weekend. Go Giants.
Oh, God. Daniel?
We're going hats backwards for the Giants this weekend. I think they're going to do it. They're going to, continue to evolve. And happy Hanukkah to our Jewish friends, Jason.
Thank you.
And, great. Yeah, whatever.
Hope you have a wonderful and crazy eight nights, as Adam Sandler wishes us every year. And don't forget to make your ham for tomorrow night. I don't know. It's the second night of Hanukkah. Hanukkah ham. Why not?
Is that a thing? I didn't think that was a thing.
Are you gonna?
I make it a thing.
Spin the dreidel with Tara and Kelly tonight.
Spin the dreidel.
High fives.
I will.
Look, man, let's go.
Cherry almond star cookies. What the fuck is that?
Cherry almond star cookies. Yeah, it's like the giddy shit. Like, Mr. Soriano over there. Hey, whatever.
All right.
Wait. Before we go, true talk. Jason, do the Giants cover this weekend? Do they win this weekend?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Yes, I agree. I am excited. I don't know why.
I don't know. They're in first place. That's why.
No. It's the perfect fucking 2020 solution here, right? Is that all of a sudden the Giants put 4 wins together and everybody's like, whoa. It's like someone hit you with a cattle prod. I'm into it, though. And you know what? That game, I'm telling you, we have earned the Giants playing the Browns on Sunday night next weekend.
You ain't kidding.
And in honor of this Hebrew holiday, let us not forget that I predicted the Giants would be 9-7.
Oh, my God.
Let us not forget.
Oh, my God. What were you on that night?
Mark it down.
Jesus Christ. Well, we'll be back at you. Yeah, we'll be back at you next week because it's a week before Christmas. So,
right, and then the next week we're taking off for the Christian holiday.
That's
after that, yeah.
You got Sette Pesce the following week.
Oh, do you do the 7 fishes, Matt?
I'm not sticking my fucking house up with that shit. The only thing I eat out of that would probably be I there's no way I'm putting bacala in my house. That's a non-starter right there. Maybe the clam sauce.
Right.
You love the clam sauce.
Clam sauce, I've tried it. It's not bad.
Why did we do a fucking throwdown? Whatever, Mary Fuck Kill or whatever, on
Jason didn't prepare one.
Send me some Christmas traditions start bench cut. We'll have it up for next week.
Christmas traditions.
Yeah, like white lights, colored lights. I don't know.
You can't. Hey, Jason, you can't say color.
The rainbow lights.
There you go. That's woke. You're
Real
very
trees
woke.
versus fake trees.
Real trees versus fake trees. We could do versus.
And this year there was a shortage because you can't get into Canada.
It's a shortage for every fucking thing this year. There's no pennies. There's no paper. There's no toilet paper. There's nothing.
I'm sourcing beer from as many people as I can for this holiday.
There'll never be a shortage of beer.
No, but good beer is a different story.
This is true. It's very true. My Trogs was disappointing, so I'm going to go get myself another drink from the fridge. So we'll see you back next week, gentlemen.
Enjoy the second half.
Yes.
And have a good night, everybody. See you.